Okay, so I'm Martin Ferrer, I'm one of the consultant paediatricians, and I've been helping set up the new HIS system. And this is just a quick run through what we have been up to and show you some videos of how it's all going to look. So we've been sorting out all scripts for the last 18 months or so and installing it into our computers and setting it up so that it can go live in June 2016. When it does, it's going to change a whole load of things, and the things you're going to particularly notice the changes in are going to be e-prescribing and nursing and medical notes. So we'll talk a bit about various parts on those. The system itself has been extremely complicated to set up. The picture you're looking at is really just the components of it which are running. We need to have very good backups. We need to have areas where we can develop, we can test, and we can put into production the system that you're going to be using. We need an awful lot of computers. We need an awful lot of Wi-Fi network in order to make this thing run well, which is, of course, our intention. The whole point of this is to have a really slick system which you can use easily and quickly and doesn't get in the way of your world and actually supports you doing what you want to do. Okay, so I'll run through the system. The first thing we'll have a look at is the nursing admission document. Okay, so we wanted to do this using videos because it makes it a bit quicker and a bit easier to see. This is just Alex running through the system. He's using it for real, but we used a screen recorder so that you could see it. So he's entering some basic data into the screen as you will be doing. Every now and again he can enter something and the computer system will do a quick calculation. That was a degrees centigrade to Fahrenheit. You get basic bits and pieces of data added. There you go, there's another one that's mean BP put in for you. And so the intention of the system is to support the way in which you go about doing things. Another one comes up, there you go, that's inches to height. There's nothing terribly clever about those things, but it's the way in which the system can work. There you go, there's a slightly more clever one. You get a BMI converted for you. So you'll enter information into the system so that it's recorded for you. Sometimes you come across an area, this one's valuables, where a new box opens. That one allows you to enter relevant information to the valuables on that particular one. Again, we can try and make things easier by doing all yeses and all nos to make it quicker to enter data for you. The whole intent of this system is to try to record accurate information as easily as possible. Okay, so here's another one. There Alex had entered that an interpreter was required, and we can make guidance appear for you, so it makes it easier. You know the telephone numbers to phone for an interpreter. And again, it's the sort of thing we can make happen for you at all sorts of stages as you're using the system. Alex is obviously going a little bit faster than you can do because we speeded his video up. But the system works the same. Here's some pregnancy information. That will only appear on patients who are of childbearing age and obviously female. So if it was a 91-year-old bloke, you wouldn't be able to see the pregnancy information box. So we can, again, make things only appear when they are appropriate to you and appropriate to the information that you're trying to enter. Another thing we can do is allow you to be able to make referrals. So there's an alcohol referral box over there on the side. So we can generate referrals direct from the document at the time at which you are completing it. So it's kind of the time that makes most sense. So again, all that information can be entered and put together. Here's some pain scores. The pain score has already been pulled through because of the information that was already entered earlier on, as you saw it before. Okay, so that's a quick run through the nursing document. So have a quick look at the medical document in a similar way. You enter some basic information into it, similar sort of process of entering information. The observations are already pulled through for you because they were put into the nursing document. If, again, you were putting it in first into the medical document, they'd be pulled through into the nursing document. So again, the process here is to try and make it easy so that all of the information is not duplicated and shared between the people who are making the assessments. This is going into social history, and again, the information has been pulled through from the nursing notes so that you can see it, but it also becomes part of your document. You can edit it as well, so if you want to add to that, it'll be added to, and then again is shared from one area to another. This is Eve. She's an avatar, someone you can annotate. She's appropriate to the age and sex of the patient we're entering the data from. You can only put stuff externally, which is the downside to this. She's very good for being able to put simple labels on as an external feature, but as you'll see, we have other ways of being able to put in more detailed diagrams for other things. Okay. So here's the CVS examination. Pull through again data from BP and things, as you would expect. If we go into the respiratory examination, we can put simple bits and pieces. That's about trick here, but then we can put a diagram in. The diagram's not as pretty as Eve was, but there you go. There's a diagram of lungs. If you pull up the diagram, as Alex will do any moment now, then you can mark the diagram as appropriate. So he's going to put a cross on it where there's some creps, and then he'll store that diagram. Okay, go back into the respiratory examination, and you can put in the rest of the findings. Neurological examination, similar sort of way, you get the idea of the process. This one's got a Glasgow Coma Scale score at the beginning of it, and you can put that in, and you'll get a score at the end of it. Again, if it's been put in by the nurses, it will be pulled through. In this particular case, it hasn't, and it'll be pulled through into the nursing notes instead. And then you get an AVPU score, which is calculated inevitably. Allergies are a little bit different. They're part of the core system, meaning that this is information which is permanently entered for a patient. You will have to confirm that a patient either has no allergies or enter appropriate allergy information for all patients. If it's already been done before, you just confirm it. If not, you can put it in as Alex is doing at the moment. So he can put in some data about an allergy that this patient has suffered, and then it gets stored into the core data about this patient. Okay. That takes us back to the medical assessment document, as you saw before. Okay, let's have a look at what's generated out of that. So when you've completed the medical assessment document, you can then there is a document created from it, and this is what it looks like. This is effectively what you have written in the notes. So this is stored. You can see Eve as we put the labels on her before, and all of the information that you've put in and recorded. You'll see the lung diagram coming up in a moment. As Alex did, and you'll remember he put a cross on it. That gets all recorded together. So this is the document that you created, and it gets stored in the system. Okay, so we've talked about entering information for patients as a sort of history-taking process, but we have some scoring systems to risk score patients. This one's a must score. As you put the information in, you get calculations coming through from it, and it will calculate your BMI, and then it will calculate the must score. Okay, when you then go to the Waterlow score, which we'll do in a moment. Well, there's a dietitian referral down there, and similarly as there was with the alcohol referral down at the bottom, you can see the dietitian referral as appropriate. Here's the Waterlow score. The data from the must score is pulled through into the Waterlow score, so that again we try to reduce the quantity of repetition which is in the system, so it should make completing risk assessments much more straightforward. So you get out of that a straightforward assessment of risk. Okay. When you've done all of those sort of documents, you'll want to be able to see the outcomes from them. This is a tracking board. It's effectively the same as a ward's whiteboard. So we can list the patients. This is for a ward that we created. It's got a lot of beds on it, but it's a ward that we created. So these are all the patients on that ward. For each of the patients, you can see various bits and pieces of information. Alex is pulling them up, so you can see must score, Waterlow score. So for the patients that we've entered those data, the data is then visible to you in the same way as you have on whiteboards are visible on wards. Okay. Other tasks that you'll be doing, things like ward rounds. Okay, so we can generate a list for a ward round according to wards or consultants, and then you can go into those and create ward round notes. Okay, so here we're going into patient, and you'll be able to pull up a document. So he's just typing in for the ward round note. There you go. Click on it, and you get a document up. Document looks like this at the moment. So a ward round note pulls through various bits and pieces of observations. Those are pulled through from the nursing observations that are completed in the last 12 hours. And then you're able to put in comments appropriate to the ward round and then store it within the system. Okay. There are lots of documents that we're going to be creating, but there are also lots of documents which are already within our system, effectively stuff which is in EPR and stuff which is pulled through from other places like referrals from GPs. All of those documents need a place to be stored, and they're going to be stored within the system. There are a huge a number of documents already available, so we have a lot of historic bits and pieces of information already present about patients. Okay. Hopefully that gives you an idea of what the system's going to look like. We're going to be going live in June, and we're going to replace all of the thing that you currently call currently call EPR, or electronic patient records. We will also be bringing in e-prescribing, and it will be pretty much everywhere. So we're going to ask you to be involved. At the moment, there's lots of people being involved with our user acceptance testing. That's just going through the system, looking and telling us what you think of it. We're training some super users who are going to be the people who are going to help us to introduce the system. We have people who are going to give us feedback and development. In fact, anybody who is using the system will be free to give us feedback and help us to develop the system. Above all, though, we're going to need your enthusiasm and tolerance. Enthusiasm because we want you to help us develop this to be a really great system. And tolerance because in the first bit, it's not going to be as good as it can be. That's what we need to do. Develop, grow, right, make sure this deliver its potential. We're also making a play and learn environment. It's effectively a pretend system that you can try admitting patients to and using. And what we want to do is encourage people to use the system to play before it in fact goes live. And that's us. Join us. Come and join, have a look at the system, join the Play and Learn system. Please be with us and help us to make this a really good system. Help us with the go live. Thanks for your time. Thanks for listening.